Do you want to know if the JC Wings 747-400 mould is worth your money? If so, stay tuned and you'll have an answer by the end of this video. Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be making a review of the Eva Air 747-400F by JC Wings. Now we're going to go into various different areas of this model to see whether it's worth your money or not, and I'm going to be adding some close-ups in just so that you can see the model up close as well. I'm going to be breaking this video into a couple of sections, and I'll go in depth more when I get to them. Now without any further ado, let's just get straight into the review. Now the first thing we're going to take a look at is the box. Now sometimes JC Wings does this orange box design, which I got with my Cathay Pacific 777-300ER, but here they've done a different approach with the kind of logo in the background and more of the details on the back, as you can see here. I think it's nice that the box has two different types of configurations on it. I assume that that's for the two different models they're shipping. But yeah, overall I think the box is really nice, and it's very similar to the likes of NG models and other companies alike. It's a unique box design, and I think it caters well for the model that's on the inside. Now actually moving on to the model itself here, we'll start off with the shape of the nose. I think the point and the hump of the aircraft are really nicely represented. JC Wings have done a really nice job of scaling this part down. Now if I'm honest, I don't really like the way the wings and the fuselage have been connected together. The join and seam is just way too big, and it's not really as seamless and as smooth as you would like it to be. So I think this is definitely an area where JC Wings could improve the mould. Moving on to the middle of the fuselage, nothing really to write home about. Everything is where it's supposed to be. The cargo titles are nicely applied. All the details there. Nothing really to speak about really. Now the rear of the aircraft looks really nice, and I think it's really nicely represented. The paint is nice, and the angle of the horizontal stabilizers is also really good. I found that with my other 747 models, sometimes they're either too shallow, too pitched up, or not even aligned with each other. But yeah, I think the APU is also really nicely represented, and the shape of the tail is also very good. Now when it comes to the detail on this model, I think there's an exceptional amount of detail here. You can see a lot of the antennas on the top, and a lot of the decals are really nicely placed, and are also really well represented. The area that I want to mainly focus on is the wing detail. As you can see here, some of the engines are really nicely molded, and the colors are also very well articulated. Now things that we don't often always appreciate are the small details that are hidden from the viewer. For example, these little decals underneath the engine. I think this is a really nice touch by JC Wings, and is not something we always see. Also, I think the cowling on the end of the engine, or whatever you call it, is also very nice. It's a really crisp line, and there's no deforming there whatsoever, which makes it a very nice looking engine. So now actually looking into the engine, you can see the fan blade mould is very nice and symmetrical, no blemishes or anything, and everything is looking very crisp. You can also see the colour is kind of toned down, which means it's just not too bright, and it's not as visible as some other models you have on the market. Now the wing itself has a really nice shape. I really like the paint underneath, it's really crisp, and you can also even see the registration at the end of the wing. You can also see that the wingtip is very nicely painted as well, even with that little orange tip at the end. The silver lining running across it is also very nice. All in all, I think the general detail, especially the wing detail of this model, is really nice, and that is definitely a reason why you should buy this model. And when it comes to the landing gear of this model, I definitely think it could do with some improving, because at the main landing gears you can see the bogies, they're kind of loose, and they're really difficult to get to face the right way. So when you put it down on the table, it just doesn't feel right. and sometimes you have to like move the model around to get them to slot in place. I have this with my other Gemini jets, 747-400, so I feel like this is just a poor design issue. But other than that, I think the design of the landing gear is pretty nice. You can see the nose gear here, it's pretty nice. I like the colors of the wheel hubs, which is something that Phoenix doesn't do. They leave them metallic. I like the doors as well. They have a nice little detail on them with the number, I think, and they're also a really nice size. You can see the main gear here. Again, the tires are nice, the wheel hubs are nice, but it's just that some of the gear is really wonky. You don't really notice it when the model's sitting flat, but something you will notice is the way the model stands. It feels like it's sloping forward a bit, like the main gear is a bit too tall. I think something that has to do with this is the disjointed or loose landing gear at the back, and I think this is really a design flaw of this model. I just think the landing gear might just be a bit too complicated, and it could definitely do with a bit of simplifying. So now for my final overview, should you buy this or should you not? I definitely think you should buy the JC Wings 747-400 mold. Other than the wonky landing gear, I think this is an absolutely amazing mold, and it is definitely worth your money. Now hopefully you found this video somewhat helpful and maybe you enjoyed it as well. Please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here for more content like this. So yeah, that's basically it. It's been Aviation JFK, signing off.